Well, joining me live from the Vatican is Australia's ambassador to the Holy See, Keith Pitt. Keith Pitt, thanks so much for your time at what's a very late part of the evening there in Rome. What can you tell us about Pope Leo? Have you had an audience with him, or is that coming up? What kind of Pope do you think he'll be?
Andrew, firstly, it's great to be with you. It's been a minute. It's just after midnight here, local time, and at 10 a.m. Today, we'll have the inauguration for Pope Leo, and it'll be attended by well over 100,000 people, would be my expectation. I haven't met the Pope yet. In fact, the protocol process demands that I have to present my credentials to the Pope first. My very first meeting with him will be to do that. But from all reports, he appears a very charismatic individual. He is obviously passionate about peace around the world. In fact, the first words that he said when he was announced as Pope was, "Peace be with you all."
What does it mean to the Church and to the people of Italy, I guess, to have an American-born Pope?
Well, firstly, it was a very sad time here in Rome. There was genuine grieving at the loss of Pope Francis and 9 days of official mourning. And this is now a time of renewal and celebration, and they're very, very joyous. And I think the fact that he's come from America but spent a lot of his time in Peru and other areas, I'm told he's been to Australia a number of times. To me, he's like many Australians. He might come from somewhere else, but he's a student of the world, and I think he'll be a lot like us. And I was reminded again this morning by an archbishop that apparently he loves Tim Tams.
Well, the Prime Minister made the decision to attend the inauguration mass, to head over there. And we've heard from Cam Redden this morning and meet the Canadian Prime Minister and Volodymyr Zelensky. But I guess others like Donald Trump haven't attended. He has sent JD Vance in his place. What's the advantage of the PM attending this?
Well, when you look at the work of the Church, that they're a global institution. And I think people shouldn't forget that they provide education, health services, aged care, extensive humanitarian work through Caritas, one of the largest aid organisations in the world. So it's not just about the work they do with Catholics. They provide those services for people of all faiths, people of no faith, and they're incredibly influential. You only have to look at that photo from Pope Francis's funeral, where President Trump and President Zelensky sat to talk about peace in the Ukraine. I think that demonstrates, firstly, why there's so many embassies here. You have over 180 countries with formal diplomatic relations with the Vatican, and why so many have resident ambassadors, because their level of influence is incredibly high. It's in areas that matter to us and it matters to Australia, and that's one of the reasons we're here.
How hopeful are you we might get a visit by the Pope to Australia soon?
Well, the Prime Minister's already made an open invitation in a statement to the media I think it was 2 days ago. It's all been a bit of a blur, to be honest. And of course, one of my jobs will be to be out there and lobbying hard to try and get the Pope to come to Australia in 2028 for the Eucharist Congress. There'll be a lot of people there. It's an incredible opportunity. It's been a long time since a Pope has been in Australia. And in fact, the PM will meet him today in the lineup on the way out of the inauguration, is our understanding. All of the world leaders will have that brief opportunity on the way through, and I'm sure he'll extend the invitation again.
I read over the weekend that while you were a fossil fuels guy as an MP and minister, it's your role as ambassador to the Vatican to represent Australia's views on climate change. Will that be difficult for you, Keith Pitt?
Andrew, I'm not an MP anymore. The decisions on policy are up to members and senators, governments and oppositions. And I think you'll find ambassadors around the world have all sorts of personal views, none of which I'm aware of, but their job is to deliver on the agenda of the government of the day. I always do my utmost, no matter where I'm employed. I'll do the same here, as I'm sure you would expect. And if the government had changed 2 weeks ago and the policy had shifted, well, every ambassador would have a different set of policies and priorities to put forward. I'm very pleased to be in the role. I'm incredibly grateful to have an opportunity to continue service after 12 years serving my community, and I look forward to doing even more work as we move forward.
And finally, when did the PM first approach you to take on the role? What was the reason he approached you? Did he tell you?
Well, the process for me is the same as for everyone else. I was appointed by the Governor-General. I'm employed directly by the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. We've completed a lot of the training. I did get brought forward in terms of the move earlier this year simply because of the health of Pope Francis. And, mate, there's nothing to see here, to be honest.
Keith Pitt, thanks so much for your time in this early part of the morning. Good luck today.
Hey, great to be with you. It's good to see Cam out here earning his pay.